What's going on, everybody? It's me, it's Original Gamer Stevie Stroh. In case you didn't know this, I am a cocoa nut. I gotta be a cocoa nut to continue working on a YouTube series on programming in BASIC on the color computer. But here we are on Chapter 20, the big brush off, where we learn how to use the paint command. So cheers. Cheers to you. Make sure you grab yourself an I'm a Cocoa Nut coffee mug, either with the Coco cartoon character from the BASIC manual or with a bona fide, fully loaded Coco 3 with RGB monitor, multi-pack interface, dual floppies. Get yourself a Coco mug on my website, ogsteveshow.com. Click on the merchandise link and you'll get it. So what chapter are we doing today? We're doing chapter 20, which is the big brush off. And we are going to learn how to use the paint command. And we're going to be able to paint stuff on the screen, which is very, 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 very cool. So let's jump in. And let's do the examples in the book, and then we'll do some of the DIY stuff. And at another time, I will also add this to our graphics demo. Won't have time to do that today. This may or may not be the last programming in BASIC video I can do before Coco Fest, but I'll see if I can squeeze out another one before I leave. But here we go. The big brush off, chapter 20. You might think we've forgotten this is a color computer. So far, it's been a little dab here. And a splotch or two there. You'll never create a masterpiece that way. Well, it's time to loosen up a little and paint the town, if not red, then at least bright orange. Ha 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 ha. The Extended Color Basic Graphics Paint command allows you to paint any shape with any available color. And here is the syntax for paint. We start off with paint, and then we have left and right parentheses, and we give the horizontal and vertical location, the X and Y axis. Where on the screen do you want to start painting? The next thing is what color paint do you want to paint it in? And that's one of the available 9 colors. And then the second color that we would pass off would be the border color. What color do you want it to stop? Because paint will continue to expand and fill until it reaches a color you tell it to look for and stop. When it reaches that color, it will stop painting. So if the computer reaches a border other than the specified color, it paints over that program. So now it says let's load up our lines program. So let's see if we can do that. I wonder if I still have lines. Did I call it lines or did I call it X? Okay, I think I just called that one X. So here was our original lines program. It just drew the 2 X's, right? So now, here's the listing of that program. 5 P mode, well, in this case here. Now it says change the line programs to this. So it says 5 P mode 3, 1. We're going to do that. Line 10 says PCLS. 120 says screen 120, screen 1, 1. Line 25 and line 30 are there. It is now asking us to get rid of, okay, well, so for line, well, dude, what's going on here? Line 30 draws 1 line. My line numbers are off a little bit. Okay, so line 40, instead of saying 40, go to 40. 40, we're going to do 40 as line 50. We're going to say circle 128, 96, 90. That's line 40. Line 60, we're going to say paint 135, 125, 8, 8, and 70. We're going to say go to 70. So my line numbers are not exactly the same. My line 5 is right. My line 10 is right. My line 20 is right. My line, okay, so we need to do this. We need to say renum 30, 25, 10. Let's try that. Let's see if that renumbers everything. I think now my program is kind of matching the book. Line 5 says P mode 3, 1. Line 10 says PCLS. Line 30 says screen 1, 1. Let's shoot. Line 20 says screen 1, comma 1. Line 30 says line 00 to 255, 191. That's going down in this direction. The other one's going in the other direction. Those are lines. Line 50 now draws a circle roughly dead center in the screen of the radius of 90, which will be pretty big. It'll be pretty close to full screen. And then line 60 paints, I'm assuming, one of the corners, because what's going to happen is this circle is going to be around an X. So there's going to be 4 sections to this circle, and I think we're painting in one of those sections. Let's find out. That's what we just did. And you kind of watch that happen. Let me run this again. When you run it, right, you saw the circle being drawn, which we learned in chapter 19, and then you saw the paint start to fill in. So it shows basically an area inside, and it took like a slice of that pie and started painting with the orange color, which is color 8. So we said paint color 8, which is orange, and we say stop painting whenever you reach something else that is orange. All right, and so it says, before you're running the program, can you predict the results? That answer is yes. Okay, I did. I predicted those results. Okay, now, here is delete line 30 and run the program. Now that before you run the program, can you predict the results? Line 30 and 40 make the intersecting lines. Line 50 generates a circle at the center, which is the point where the 2 lines intersect. That part should be easy, but what about the paint in line 60? If you suggest the computer goes to screen position 135 across and 125 down, it paints with orange until the paint reaches an orange border. Well, if you predicted that, then you are right. Now it says delete line 30 and run the program. Now that you refine the borders, it paints half the circle. Okay, so that's kind of cool. All right, so when we run it right now, we've got the 2 lines, right? So the circle's X'd out and it's cut into 4 segments. It says if we delete line 30, and we just hit 30, enter, and now I run it. Now there's only 1 line. I've cut the circle in half, and so now I've painted in half a circle. That's kind of cool, right? A little bit of yin and yang there. I kind of like that, right? I like that. So it looks like one of the black and white cookies too. Now, do-it-yourself program. Can you paint the entire circle? You can do this 2 ways. One involves adding a line. The other involves deleting a line. Can you paint the entire circle? You can do it 2 ways. One involves adding a line. The other involves deleting a line. So if we do it by deleting the line, if we just get rid of line 40, and we don't have any lines now when we run the program, it's just going to draw the circle, and it's going to paint, and it's going to fill it in. So this is drawing a circle and painting in that circle. Now, by the way, did you notice the computer mode in color set P mode 3 is a 4-color mode in color set 1. It gives you buff, cyan, magenta, and orange. Stay in mode 3, but change the screen to 1,0 and run the program without changing any other lines. You should get a red circle and border on it.
Let the Radio Shack TRS-80 put the world of color computing into your home. Instant loading program packs turn any color TV into an exciting game arcade. And there's more. The color computer is an educational aid, a home management tool, an up-to-the-minute electronic information service. The programmable, expandable TRS-80 color computer from $399 only at Radio Shack, the biggest name in little computers.
All right, guys, I don't know what the heck happened, but I'm really annoyed with my recording software right now because it is, I don't know if I'm pressing a stinking key. I don't know what's happening, but I've been recording for fricking 20 minutes now, and half of what I recorded is gone. So what you're seeing now is the end of this fricking video that I recorded today, and I closed out the video by doing a random demo that draws random sized circles of a random color and paints them in. I did that, and here you see the proof of that. I'm a little bit bummed out. I'm a little bit annoyed and frustrated, so I'm not in the greatest of moods when you spend all this time trying to do something and your computer plots against you. It's annoying. So yeah, this was my own little do-it-yourself program. In this program here, I said, all right, let's take what we learned in chapter 19 and let's go ahead and write a program to draw random circles of a random radius of a random color and then paint them in of that color. So this is really applying the concepts that chapter 19, and chapter 20. And I'm annoyed. I'm absolutely annoyed that all of the discussions leading up to this and the program that I was creating to do this are gone. The program is relatively small, so I'll leave it up on the screen here for just a second. So we did line 10, random circles. Line 20, P mode 3, 1, which is medium resolution of 4 colors. Line 30, screen 1, 0. Set the palette to the low color modes. Line 40, PCLS. Line 50 is the main circle loop, pun intended. Get it? Circle, loop, RRR. Then we pick a random X coordinate for our circle between 1 and 255. We pick a random Y coordinate for our circle between 1 and 191. We pick a random color, a random radius between 1 and 80. And then we're picking a random color between 1 and 4 because in P mode 3, there's only 4 colors, right? And so those colors are green, yellow, blue, and red. So we're picking a random color. We then draw the circle based on the X and Y coordinates, based on the radius that we chose and the color that we chose. We then paint dead center in that circle, same X and Y coordinates, based on the color that we chose as the color to paint as it starts filling. And we also choose that color as the color to stop when it reaches the edge. When you see that color, stop. And that can produce some interesting effects. Line 90 goes all the way back to line 50, and then this is the loop, picking random numbers and making a circle. As we run it again, here we go. These are the random circles of the random colors, and as they paint them in, you see what's going on. So I just thought that was an interesting little additional demo to do. I will add this to our graphics demo, but just not today because I'm short on time. The other do-it-yourself one I did, which I stepped through step by step by step, was it asked us to start painting in our house. So I'm going to save this as, let me see if we have a circles program right now. Do I have a program called Circles? Because I would hate to lose one. I do have a program called Circles. I'm going to save this one as P-Circs, painted circles. Now, the other thing we did is we added things to the house command, and I'll just show you the extra lines that I added to the house command, which are starting somewhere around here. So before you saw the house demo, we drew a box. We drew a couple boxes for windows. I drew a solid box for a door. I figured out how to draw a triangle roof, and then boom, that was the house. Now what I did here is before I drew the door, I actually painted in the house with color 2, which was yellow, ending on color 4. I also changed the P mode to 3 and screen mode to 0. The reason why I chose screen mode 0 is because we have the colors green and blue and yellow. Green is great for grass, blue is great for sky, yellow is great for a sun. So first thing I did is I painted in the house. Then the drawing of the purple door was still here, which is that paint whatever BF. This then paints the roof. Then what I did here is I drew a line perfectly flat underneath the house, so there's a line going across the screen, and then I painted in from the top down. I painted that in blue, color 3, ending on 4, and then I added a circle in the top right hand corner that is yellow, and I painted that in so it looks like the sun. So here is the end results of what we added to the do-it-yourself program, which includes both painting in the house, painting in the roof. I added the painting in of the sky. I also added the sun and painted that in. I drew a line here, so we've got a dividing line where this looks like this is green grass, this is a blue sky. It's a beautiful house. It also challenged us to draw a garage on the side of our house and then draw a box and have that box continuously paint and repaint so it looks like the garage door is opening and closing. I think that's an interesting thing, but I was just too lazy to do that and figure out all the coordinates. So rather than drawing the garage, I created the program to do the random circles and paint those in. So here we are now at the end of chapter 20. What we learned is how to use the paint command. How does the paint command work? You pick an X and Y coordinate and you start painting. You tell it what color to paint and you tell it what color to stop painting at so the paint doesn't spill all over the entire screen, because you can accidentally paint your entire screen. And unfortunately, there is no undo command when you're running things in BASIC. So you got to be careful, and it's only going to look for a single color. So if it encounters other things of other colors, it's going to paint over those until it hits the one single color you tell it to stop at. But the paint command is a cool command. I hope you enjoyed chapter 20. I hope you enjoyed some of the extra DIY stuff that we did here, including the painting of the house, adding the sky and the sun, and an extra bonus program that drew random circles of a random radius and painting them in of a random color. I am the original gamer, Stevie Stroh. I'm a Cocoa Nut, and I'll see you this weekend at Cocoa Fest. Peace out, everybody, and bye-bye now.